Yo guys, Haku here with my review of The Walking Dead Comics issue 151, Call to Arms. And I thought that this one was really enjoyable, and I'm going to get into why as I detail what happened and my thoughts on it. So first off, we just had, I think the first page was just walkers getting shot, and we find out that there's sort of just a line of people in firing squad position, phalanx position, whatever, just firing away at walkers, and Dwight's the one shouting orders to them, and we see that they're all sort of minor characters from Alexandria, and I think other than Laura and Dwight, that they were all Alexandrian that I recognized. Now, Dwight's leading the group, which I liked because I called last issue that I think Dwight's going to end up leading the army of the sort of unified groups that Rick has that he's leading. I think Dwight's going to be in charge of organizing and leading the army when they go into battle. So a walker comes up behind Vincent, and Rick saves him by stabbing it with his cane, and then a couple more come. Rick tries to shoot them, but he's missing, hitting him in the shoulders, and Dwight saves both of them. So after we get done with this whole military scene, which wraps up kind of quick after that, we get Dwight sitting under a tree, and Rick goes to talk to him, and Rick says, my police training is no good anymore. I've exhausted all of it. I'm no good out here in the field anymore. My body isn't up to it. But you, Dwight, you're obviously trained in military arts in some way, and you know what you're doing. You command people and they listen to you and you do it well. And Dwight says, that's why I left the sanctuary. I don't want the responsibility of being a leader. But Rick says, you already are a leader. You've been a leader from the beginning, really. You haven't known it yet because you've been stuck under Negan, and the people turn to you afterward because you are a leader, and now you're doing well at leading this army. So I think that Rick's going to have him lead the army, if we ever get into that sort of a point. So we cut to Eugene. He's fixed the radio, or at least he's fixed it up a bit, and he's testing it out, calling out on the radio, this is Eugene Porter, can anybody hear me, please respond, that sort of deal. Getting back to Rick and Dwight's group, going into Alexandria, they return. Didn't want to say getting back twice in the same sentence there. But getting back there, Maggie is leaving, she's packing her things to go back to the hilltop. And Rick's like, how many people do you think the hilltop can spare? She's like, well, Jesus is staying. And he walks up, he's like, I'm staying. How many more do you need? But Maggie says, I'll talk about it when I get back to the hilltop. And I'm expecting it to be around 10. So Rick's like, that's fine. And by the way, if they want to come back, you can tell Andrea, Carl, and Lydia that they can come back. It's safe now, if they want. Then Rick and Vincent have a really nice conversation. And Rick and Vincent's conversation's probably my favorite part. Either Dwight's conversation under the tree or Rick and Vincent's conversation is my favorite part of this, but probably Rick and Vincent's, because I liked one line that Rick said, where he said, we left you alive and it's because you made one mistake. Imagine if we had killed you after that one mistake, that all the good that you're going to do, or that you can do from here on out, all of that good would have been erased because we killed you for one mistake. Now, of course, that mistake could have killed Rick, so it's a little bit iffy there with me, but I think that was a really cool thing to say. It worked really well, and I think it was a really badass line. I just really enjoyed that line from Rick. One quick page, we have Rick sort of walk halfway down the stairs of that basement and check on Negan. And Negan's just like, yo, fearless leader. Rick's like, just checking on you, walks back upstairs, and that's pretty much all we got. So I think at this point they're like, let's throw in Negan once a chapter to just keep things interesting. Let us know that he's still there. As Rick's coming out of that house, he talks to Gabriel, and I really like this conversation too, where Gabriel's like, I think I've protected the souls of the people here well. I've done my best to serve my flock in that way, but I want to serve them and protect them in an even bigger way. I want to join as a soldier. And he's like, if you would have me. And of course Rick's like, I'd be very happy to have you. You could be nothing but helpful because we need all the people we can get for this. So I really enjoyed that, and I'm really looking forward to seeing Gabriel take on the role of a soldier. But I feel like him joining as a soldier raises some death flags for me. So I like it and I don't like it. But either way, I'm glad to see them doing more with Gabriel's character. Either way, then we get Rick returning home and Michonne sleeping on the couch. We get a nice conversation between Rick and Michonne. There was a funny moment in there, but I personally thought it was kind of dry. I like the Rick and Michonne conversations we've been having lately, but I did think this one was a little dry. The real important thing of it is that Michonne is now going to go, presumably, to the kingdom to, again, presumably, become its leader, which I could see coming. I think a lot of people saw it coming, and I think it's a good choice. It makes me kind of like on the fence about having like, oh, our original group, 3 of them became the leaders of 3 different settlements, because to a point it seems a tiny bit unrealistic, but I do like the development, and I think Kirkman and the gang, they're doing it well, but it does get me a little on the fence having that happen. But either way, I like that. I like the conversation, and we cut back to Eugene, and something that I called it before I read it in my live reaction, but I really did not expect it because I didn't think we'd be getting it nearly this early. It ends with him calling out over the radio again, and then he just puts his hands down or his face down in his hands where he's just done because he's like, I don't know what else to do. This is a hopeless project. And then Static comes over the radio and he's like, what the hell is this? And we hear a voice come over the radio saying, Eugene Porter, we hear you loud and clear. So at this point, it could be anything. It really could be pretty much anything. It could be another big settlement. And I think I actually said that in my live reaction. It could be another big settlement or like some sort of government facility that existed from before the outbreak. There are a lot of options for what we could have happening here. So I'm interested to see where they take it, because I didn't think that the radio would come into play until after the Whispers arc. So really sort of losing my words here. I'm interested. I'm intrigued. I want to see where this is going to go. So in the end, I thought that the art in this, very nice. It was really, really good looking. I really like why am I losing words today? I really like the artistic choices, and the panels all looked really, really nice. I think I may have liked it a bit more than 150, but it's kind of hard to compare the two art-wise. But story-wise, I liked it a lot more than 150. It was definitely a step up. Even if they didn't have the thing thrown in with Eugene's radio at the end, I still would have thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a really solid issue, and it expanded upon everything that's happening a lot. It was good at expanding our current story. So in the end, with the really nice plot and really nice artwork, I'm going to give this one 7 radio signals out of 10. I really thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Like if you guys did like it, subscribe for more Walking Dead. I will be doing comic videos whenever I'm inspired, or a live reaction and review whenever a new issue comes out, which should be the first week of every month from now on, I think I read in the letter hacks. So that's exciting. Gonna have that a more stable, like I'll know when it's happening, so I'll be ready to have it out sooner. Subscribe if you guys want that, yeah, of course, and if you want to check out all the other stuff I do, follow on Twitter for updates. Like I have Like I had an update last night where I couldn't get the live reaction out last night, so I had to do it this morning, and things like that. I thank you guys so very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.